Is a Masterbuilt guitar really worth the price difference? Let's find out. Hi, Sam from Guitar Village here, and today we're going to be having fun comparing these two Telecasters. Now, I know what you're already thinking, they're the same guitar, so why are you going to bother comparing them? Well, I can tell you they're not the same guitar. The one I have in front of me is a Jason Smith Masterbuilt Tele, and the one behind me is a Teambuilt. For those of you who aren't familiar with these terms, Teambuilt and Masterbuilt, it's really simple. Within the Fender Custom Shop, it's kind of divided into two different divisions. The Teambuilt, which is kind of as it sounds, it's a team that builds the guitar. Each person has their own part on the assembly line to do, and then they move it on to the next person. Whereas Masterbuilt is a guitar that's built by one person, start to finish. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details of how they differ, let's have a look at what they have in common. So when we ordered both of these guitars, we had one thing in mind, to get them as similar as possible, except one being Masterbuilt, one being Teambuilt. So both of these guitars have been ordered with exactly the same specs. So they both have gorgeous two-piece ash bodies, they have quarter sawn maple necks with a 9.5-inch fretboard radius. They have very chunky Nocaster U-shaped necks, which are really in keeping with a kind of early 50s Telecaster. They have hardtail strap bridges and two Seymour Duncan P90s. So, with the spec out the way, let's kind of understand a little bit more about the process of how a Teambuilt or a Masterbuilt guitar works. This Tele I have in front of me, this is the Teambuilt model. And what I wanted to do today is talk to you a little bit more about how that process works. So, as I suggested earlier, it's an assembly line. So one person will go out there, they'll choose the wood blanks. Another person will be there shaping the necks. You'll get someone who sprays it in a separate spray booth. You're going to have someone who installs the electronics and all the wiring, and someone else who does the final assembly on there. And it's a really good process because it's much quicker than the Masterbuilt process, but what it does mean is that you haven't got one person that oversees the whole guitar, so they don't have that vision for the guitar from start to finish. So, with the master building, I said that it was one person building it start to finish, and what that means is that one person will do lots and lots of hands-on work. They'll also have apprentices as well, maybe one or two, but they'll oversee them because at the end of the day, they're going to put their name on these guitars, so it really has to meet their standards. Something else that I think is really interesting with master builders as well is that when you custom order one, which we do a lot for the shop anyway, but we also do for our customers, is you hand them over your email, and what they'll do when they're ready to build the guitar, and it does take a little while at the moment, they will contact you before building it, and they want to know maybe a little bit about yourself and what you expect to get from the guitar as well. If you're a blues player, if you're a shred player, they'll try and build the guitar around you so you get a really bespoke service. Now, after playing both of these guitars and talking a little bit about them, you can tell they're just fantastic to look at, they're fantastic to play. However, I did find that the Jason Smith had a little bit better kind of note clarity and separation, especially on the high gain settings. Something you won't be able to tell on the video through your cameras is just the way that he puts the extra kind of amount of detail into doing the way the fingerboard edges are rolled, the way the ends of the frets are really tidied up, and that does take time. Something else as well you won't be able to tell on the camera is that the neck on the Jason Smith is a little bit chunkier as well, and I think that's where the master builder's personality really gets pushed into the guitar. A lot of the time we'll order something like a Yuri Shishkov because he does a really, really sweet thin neck, Jason Smith, because he does a really authentic, cool looking Relic job. We might go to someone for like Ron Thorne, who is, I think he's the principal master builder, so he's in charge of all the others. He does some incredible inlay work, and recently there's been a new master builder, Vincent Van Trite, and he does some out of this world super heavy relics. You know, we can't even order his stuff at the moment because he's been so popular. And it leads me on to the final question. With a £2,000 price difference between the Teambuilt and the Masterbuilt, in this case at least anyway, is it really worth it? And to be honest with you, yes and no. I think if you want a great guitar you're going to use night after night, it's going to make you really happy, Teambuilt is going to be perfect. However, if you're someone that wants that extra attention to detail, that kind of next level up, Masterbuilt's going to be incredible for you. And if you want that extra care as well, definitely go Masterbuilt. So this was really fun for me, comparing these two tellies and checking out how they sounded. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you do want to find out any more about these guitars, we will have the links in the description below. We will be bringing out new videos every Friday at 4 PM, so hit the subscribe button now to stay up to date with our latest content.